it definitely matters that we have a seat at the table behind the scenes. I created a whole company as a result of that, linking talent of color with production, because I recognized that I was one of the only people that looked like me behind the scenes. And quite frankly, we're out here. You know, we're talented, we're capable, we're credentialed, we have it, you know. And I absolutely think that as long as we can continue to advocate for each other and recognize that for every person that's in the room, you represent everyone that comes behind you. And I take that very seriously.
Yeah. All right. What's the name of your company?
It's called The Glam Agency.
Okay.
Yes.
The Glam Agency?
The Glam Agency.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Melissa, 80% of your work in television is with non-black talent. Has anyone ever questioned you about your experience doing makeup on people who are not black? Are they like, are you qualified to do this white skin?
You know, it's a little bit more subtle than that, because, you know, they walk into the glam room and they feel I can feel the energy of them taking a little bit, you know, taken aback by me physically and what I represent. But, you know, I'm a professional, so I know how to disarm anyone that comes into the glam room. I will compliment something that they're wearing. If I've done my research, I've already Googled, maybe they had a recent press release, and I compliment them on an accomplishment. So when you sort of disarm them, things become, you know, you're more relatable, and then you can get the work done. So it does require us to have a little humility and realize that, yes, we're coming from two different worlds, and it's not personal, and I get it. And so I think that it's just a matter of how we are able to get past some of those subtle discriminations to get the work done.
Are you usually the only black makeup artist on sets?
I am usually, a lot of the productions that I've been working on as of late, I am the only makeup artist of color. However, I demand in my deal memo that I have an assistant, and guess what? She or he is going to look like me.
Wow, okay.
And not only that, then I also demand the rate, you know, because I know my worth, and I know that it's important that, you know, we come in asking for what we want. That's the only way we're going to get it, is if we ask.
And there absolutely is a black rate.
Yes, there is a black rate.
I have been on sets where I found out I was making 1/3 of what the white girl was making.
Yes.
And I threatened to walk off a set before because I was doing twice the work. And it's scary, but it's something that we have to do if we care about the women coming behind us.
Yes.
Because if we are okay with it, they'll just continue to do it if you don't call them out.
Right.
And they will say something like, well, that's, you know, the urban budget. The urban budget. Like, they've said that.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Urban is
Or
their
they'll
word for
say, this is the rate that we've been paying in Atlanta or other markets where they're shooting on. I'm like, no, but this is California,
Right.
and this is what we're asking for, and if you want us, then, you know, pay us what we're worth.
Exactly.
But it takes women, people not being fearless. I mean, saying being fearless. It takes them being fearless and not being afraid, like, well, if I say this, someone else just get it, and I need the money. So it's kind of like a catch-22, right?
It is, however, what is fear? It is absolute illusion. And you have a lot of people who don't look like us who are demanding that every single day.
Yes.
So we really have nothing to lose at the end of the day. You know, and quite frankly, if you ask and they don't give it to you and you lose that opportunity, trust and believe another door is going to open.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They usually want the ones that they feel like they can't have to.
This is absolutely right.
That's like in dating. Okay. Now, LaShawna, 20 years ago, you started Ethnicity Models and represented some of the top video models to date. I remember you killing it in Miami and throughout the country, actually. To date, tell us about the platform of your company.
Well, I started Ethnicity Models because I wanted to see more of us in the media. And the only place they were letting us in 20 years ago for women that didn't look like their traditional tall, thin model was through hip-hop, through music videos. So since that's the only door that was open, I got a crack, I kicked the door open, and I just made sure that I put a standard around how the girls were being represented, how they were being portrayed. I fought for rates. I told people no, you know, so I got a reputation for being fearless in the industry and fighting for women, which spread like wildfire. There was no one representing ethnic people at that time, so people started calling from all over the country. They wanted that representation that I was providing, and it grew. You know, we went from music videos to print ads to hair campaigns to cosmetic lines to clothing lines to apple bombs to baby to everything. And it's because I never went in the industry feeling like somebody was my source. I was my own source. So if you tell me no, I have enough ambition to go and make it happen in another way. So I just set a standard. There was no internet then. I had all the ethnic girls under my company.
You did?
So if I tell you no, we're not working for $500, give me $1,500, they hang up. I counted down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, we found it in the budget. You know, they hadn't.
It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
It's amazing, and I did that 20 years ago, and I didn't know anything about the industry, and I just came in. I was fearless. I had a vision, and I wanted to make it happen, and I wasn't going to let anybody deter me from that. We made some mistakes along the way, and I learned from the mistakes and learned what to do and what not to do. But I think more so than the video girls, I think it was my determination and my work ethic and my boldness that caught attention, and why ethnicity models really stood out in the media for a lot of people.
I gotta say, sometimes video models get a bad name, and I feel like that should stop because, like you said, you made a great point back then. That was the only place they were allowing us to enter into the business. If you weren't like a superstar singer, like it was really difficult. And I remember first moving to LA thinking, there are so many beautiful black women, there's not enough places for us. And then that lane opened up, and it was it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't a negative like people think of it now. They were stories, you were leading ladies. You were a love interest.
But the stigma started because there are some women that were on set that were negative, as we all know, superhead. But what people didn't realize that everybody there wasn't on that.
Right.
So that's another thing. I had to constantly fight the negative stereotype, and I had to learn to ask for the treatment. I need to hear the song. What is the girl going to be doing in the video? What is she wearing? I became like a bulldog. They hated me. They hated to see me coming because I was really just regulating, and the girl's not going home with you. You better not give them your number. You're going to mess up the business, So I was just like, I don't know, I was just crazy. But at the end of the day, they hated to see me coming, but at the end of the day, everybody respected me in the industry because I kept my brand clean, and it was able to transition over to corporate brands because we weren't attached with a booty girl, video girl image. It was beautiful, classy girls that can transition from a music video to a hair campaign, to a clothing campaign. So yeah, I fought a lot to fight that stereotype. Every girl,
and a lot of women have made it big starting from that. So on behalf of all the young black girls that are starting off and didn't know where to go, I thank you for what you did.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Winter, are you more respected when you work on black productions? Do you feel more respected on black productions?
I feel like I could come more into the room myself, like more so like everybody knows I work with Tommy, so everybody outlook on Tommy is loud, rowdy, like just off of TV they take off how you are to the world, and she's not like that. I'm able to be fun around her, open, and then like her whole glam squad is black. That's one thing I love. So they know, all right, while I'm doing the makeup, she using that press and comb. So I'm able to get my work done just as faster because that other black stylists know, this is what has to be done. Rather than working on a white set, I'm more, not white, Caucasian, mixed. I have to be more like settle. Like, let me place this here, be more professional.
Do you feel like you have to be more
I have
formal?
to be more fake. Like,
okay.
I'm gonna keep it real. I have to be more fake. I'm not myself. I feel uncomfortable. Like, if you say the wrong thing, they're gonna use it against you. If you use this wrong, they're gonna use it against you. It's more like my work is nitpicked. But if y'all wanna put it to reality, my work is all based off the black person's head, and the Caucasian people are following it. They're like, oh, we want that, but you just did it on a black girl. Now I'm here. But then, oh, well, I don't want heat in my hair. Most, Caucasian people don't want heat in their hair. I don't want heat in my hair. Or, don't use this, or oh, I don't use this in my hair. Or, I'm natural. Or, you can't do this and you can't do this. But that black girl, no, you got to do this to achieve this. So I'm more comfortable in my element rather than working with the right ways. Just because it's like I can't do me. I can't express my talent. I'm more.
Do they treat you like you from the hood?
Yeah. Like,
really?
They all ask where you from. I be like, I grew up in Compton and Long Beach. They be like,
what do they say? Oh.
Compton? What part? Compton. That's the thing. They just say Compton. Like, what part you from? The hood? Like, that's what they get on. Like, who you know YG. Like, it's just, they just go off of what society puts out there, and it's not that. Like,
how does that make you feel when they do that? Do you feel like they already have a preconceived notion about you?
No, I just like to prove my point. Like, yeah, I'm from Compton. Yeah, this is this, or my skin is black, I got tattoos, because I show my tattoos, I show my jewelry, I'm always myself on set, whether you white or you black, so you're going to accept it, and you're going to accept this work, and you're going to pay for it, plus all the extra stuff I got to do, because when I'm doing them sets, and I'm working on set, I'm coming from Long Beach all the way to Hollywood, so that means 3 freeways, traffic, an hour and 50 minutes, and paying for a babysitter, and a lot of people don't get these things, you know, but I still show up on time and respect it. And I always like she said, I take an assistant also. You're gonna pay for my assistant too. And that's just right though, cause y'all want the extras. Y'all would, when I bring my stuff, oh, this don't work for me and this isn't this is this. My assistant, cause I can't leave. Somebody gotta leave and go get what you like. Just so y'all ain't bitching and doing all this, like, cause that's what they do. They make you feel like, damn, like I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know what I'm doing. It's just the color of my skin, and then they don't tell you, oh, can you do this? This is the type of hair you're dealing with. This person wants this. Show up. So I'm showing up, and you know, it's just not, sometimes it's professional, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're feeling uncomfortable, sometimes you're not feeling uncomfortable.
But it sounds like you know your worth, and that's really what's important.
Right, and you gotta know your worth, and you gotta set standards for yourself in the industry, just period.
That's right. All right. Now, Muna, as talent, how liberating is it for you to walk on sets and see people who look like you in the hair and makeup trailer? You walk in, you're like, yes, black folks.
It is the best. Literally, working on Self-Made was a dream because my hair, like I said, is natural, and they were doing all kinds of beautiful hairstyles, and every time I was in the trailer, they were doing something different, and I would keep it in, sometimes for a couple days. But it was just incredible to see what they could do, not only with their natural hair, but with wigs and extensions and everything.
Got it.
Do you feel more comfortable on set, like when you got like black makeup artists, black hairstylists?
100%. I feel like a completely different person. Like, obviously you guys know when you're in a makeup trailer or whatever, there's a vibe. And when I'm in a makeup trailer and I see people who are like me and who listen to the same music, and we can put on soca or we can put on hip hop and we can all get down, that feels great. And I go to set happy. There's nothing like that feeling.
And for people watching that may not be black, it's not like we can't work with white folks. And I don't want that to be the message, because it's not. No. It's being inclusive. And a lot of times we're excluded out of the game altogether. That's why it's such a big deal for us. It's not the norm still. When you walk in, when you get to see that, it's like, wow. You know, if it became more common, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. And if they held these makeup and hair people to the standards that they should, where they are qualified to do black and white hair before they take on a job with black talent, that would make us feel better too. I mean, you can't go to a set and spray water on our hair and put this ashy-ass color makeup on our face and not have a flat iron. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually insulting. It feels like you don't take your job seriously, or you don't take our beauty seriously, or you just kind of write us off.
Yeah. So I have a question. When you're working on set, would you like to know who's doing your hair and your makeup beforehand?
It's one of the first things I ask, like who's doing hair, who's doing makeup, and I also ask if I can recommend someone. And that's what I try to do. Like, can I bring someone? Can I recommend someone? Let me give you these names, because when I haven't, I mean. Don't get me wrong, I have been on a couple sets where they have been awesome, they have been black folks. But like, I feel like if, when you have a cast with, black women, you should at least get 1 or 2 people in there.
Sure.
At the very least. I've been on shows where, a lot of times the union issue is something that happens.
Yeah.
A lot of the old school makeup artists and hair folks, they're not union. The ones that are white are union, and a lot of the black folks aren't. Right. And I feel like the more creative stuff a lot of times happens with the non-union people. The better ones. The ones that are on music videos, to me, are like they're amazing usually. Yeah. So, that's also an issue too.
Yeah, I think it's a conscious thing. I think, at the end of the day, the interesting thing is it's not even a consideration. It's just that simple. It's not even like, oh, well, I'm going to make sure that there's inclusion, when there's not even the consideration. It's not even a conscious choice. The conscious choice is, let me hire my friend or someone that looks like me, someone who's worked on many productions with me, and they go in packs and they go in crews, and they're just, the comfort zone is there for them. But there's no growth in a comfortable place.
Right.
And there's certainly not it doesn't open up the platform or the space for someone that looks like like Winter or myself to come in, and own it. So I think therein lies our opportunities to really, again, figure out how can we have some ownership in this so we have a voice and that we're also recognized. We advocate. We continue to have these kinds of conversations, but certainly everyone in front of the camera and behind the camera needs to understand that their voice has power.
Exactly. Right. And it's nothing worse to me than you're hired to perform, you're on set, and you don't feel as beautiful as the woman you're working alongside of. I feel like it affects your self-esteem and your confidence. And I want to, take that into a deeper conversation. Did you all feel beautiful as Black women growing up? Did you all know right away that you were beautiful? Because we didn't start getting black dolls until a little while ago.
I was ugly as a kid.
I'm sure you just thought you were.
I have my little ugly moments. I feel like I blossomed after high school. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I blossomed, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had that parent. My mom did buy me the black Barbie dolls. Okay. She did not buy white dolls. She bought the white dolls.
But how many of y'all have heard at a young age, oh, you're pretty for a brown girl. You're pretty for a black girl.
I hear that now.
Certainly have heard that. I was born on the island of Jamaica. Okay. So I grew up around people that, skin tones that look like me. So I never felt inferior until I moved to the United States. And not only was my dialect inferior, but also my skin tone. And so there was some of that. But for some reason, I always felt like it was their problem. I still feel like that even now, even throughout high school when my light-skinned friends would be more chosen than me. And then now that, I'm older and we're more mature and I end up seeing a lot of these guys at reunions and they're like, oh, you were actually the favorite one, back then, and it's sort of like, okay, thank you. But at the end of the day, you had an opportunity to build my self-esteem or at least be kind to me at that point. Now you want to correct it years later. So you do break each other down, like in those early youthful stages, and we need to
but they don't
consider
know
that.
It's ignorance. Back then on television, what was represented as beauty was a light-skinned woman with long hair. So you become conditioned subconsciously.
Yes.
So you're looking at beauty from another perspective. You're not looking at, I remember being on the playground and telling a little boy, get your black self away from me, or you know what I'm saying? We did that growing up because that was all we saw. We didn't see us on TV. We didn't see us on billboards represented as beauty. And that's another thing ethnicity models was created to widen the beauty spectrum. It's just not one standard of beauty. It's different shades of beauty. And I think a lot of it is ignorance and that we're not really intentionally saying, oh, I don't want to pick her. But if everything you've shown is glamorous looks like her, then and you're a little boy, you're going to go to her. You don't know any better. So I think we didn't start having these conversations until many years later. And recently, almost, where it became pop. Remember the light-skinned guys were it. I'll Be Sure was #1 pick. So it was not until recent, maybe 20 years ago, when it started changing. So none of it's intentional. It's just all subconscious programming from what.
But I hate what it does to us. Like even when you said, like they look at her, I felt
oh, sorry.
No.
I didn't mean to do it, but I'm just saying.
We need to have this conversation because it's like there's a guilt sometimes, right? When you know that you may get chosen because of like a skin tone over if you care about your sisters like I do, like I don't feel great about someone saying, oh, I don't like anything darker than you. I check guys that say stuff like that bullshit. Or they think because, it may benefit you when they say these things that you're going to go along with the bullshit. I don't.
Right.
And I think it's our job to say, when we hear those statements, to say, oh, hold up. I may be slightly lighter. I'm still dark-skinned in my heart. I always tell people that all the time, okay? That it's our responsibility to check that right away because that just keeps that stupid stereotype going along. Yeah. I hate when I hear stuff like that.
I don't think it's though. I don't think it's a rare exception. Really, honestly, because I've been, I've traveled, around the world, and I've been in places where I used to work for a sports company back in the day, and I've been in rooms where they're beautiful, wealthy people, and I've heard, the light skin, oh, it feels so good to be light-skinned, because they're getting all of the attention, and I'm standing there hearing these conversations, and so there is a level of intercultural, racism that happens, or certain level of prestige being lighter skin versus dark skin that we project off of on each other. But you're rare, and I think that what you're doing and how your perspective is certainly refreshing for anyone who may be challenged in that area, because it's definitely, we're not on each other's teams in those moments as much as we perhaps should be, by checking other people for that intercultural discrimination.
Well, we have to. If we're truly going to talk about being sisters, right?
Right.
It's not like just you can't just ignore it when it benefits you. To say, and I've been accused of being colorist before by making, because in my mind, I don't see myself as a light-skinned girl. I always tell my friends, I'm caramel, I'm brown, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm like, yes, I am. So when I speak sometimes, I don't think like how other folks view me, because I've never had that issue. I never saw myself like that. So I've always like kind of been down, you know? I don't like that.
Right, I get it, but some of it's preference too, because me personally, I prefer a chocolate man. And it's not that I don't think a light-skinned man is attractive, it's just something about their rich chocolate ethnic essence that just attracts me first. If two guys come up and one is light-skinned and one is chocolate, and a light-skinned try to talk to me, I'm like, I want to talk to your friend. Like, it's just some of it's preference, and it's not about being prejudiced.
Yellow
I
man
just
too
find
pretty.
that more.
So can we just settle that?
Attractive.
That doesn't mean that someone's a colorist if they have a preference for a lighter or darker, right? But if they're discriminating against that and saying, I can't stand, I don't like, I don't want to see.
Now that's different.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
I think that it's fine to have preferences, but preferences can be racist, prejudicial, and discriminatory. And I think that we have to be very specific in the language that we use and be honest with ourselves about what those statements are saying about ourselves and about each other. Within our community, there's so much internalization of Eurocentric beauty ideals, and we project those ideas onto each other. So, I'm hesitant to contribute because I don't want to say anything offensive.
On this show?
Contribute. I mean, we're having a real conversation.
Real talk. We can go.
I have felt the same way as you do.
About the chocolate.
Yeah, but I've dated all over the spectrum. I'm from Toronto. It's one of the most diverse cities on the planet.
Have you dated a white man?
I'm with a white man right now.
Okay.
I've got a snow king.
A snow king. Okay. I've never heard that before.
I do.
That's what they call
Those Eurocentric ideals, though, then translate into my work that I do, right? So then women come and she's like, what look do you want? And they oftentimes, if she's chocolate like me, she'll want to look like Kim Kardashian, like everyone else at complete different spectrum, because she believes that is what the standard of beauty is. It's Kim Kardashian or J-Lo, even though she looks like me with, brown skinned. So it's hard to achieve that. So when you're
so brown skinned girls are asking to look like Kim Kardashian. 9
times out of 10, they bring me photos of the complete opposite of the spectrum, and I'm saying, why not Kelly Rowland? Like browns, you know what I mean? I'm naming,
Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian's bringing a black girl's picture, saying, I want to look like this.
But it does translate into how we show up in our beauty and in our hair, and sometimes in our fashion, and also in our choices to enhance certain parts of our body, just so we can really have to be represented somehow, and to be seen. Because we all want to be seen, right? But I think that it's just a matter of, why can't you look your best why can't you love yourself for who you are, and let me enhance upon that.
If dark skin and black is so bad to some of these people, why is everybody trying to achieve that look?
I agree with that. I also agree with what she's saying. Also, we have like we have conversations in the shop. So, say for instance, makeup artists. I'm looking to hire a makeup artist in the shop that I own. The only thing is, I've booked with several makeup artists in LA, and when they open their makeup pouch, they have makeup that doesn't really fit my skin tone. So there are not really many people like you. I know a few colored makeup artists that are in the industry, but they're not many. So those black girls that want to say, hey, I want to look like this, like, you don't even have the portfolio to accomplish my look anyway. You're going to do what you can.
And it goes back to but that's also a part of the preparation. So when we go back to the conversation around production and not being included, well, are you even prepared, right? So the talent that comes to me, I take them through a process, where I'm looking, they have to first apprentice on set with me so that I can actually see how you show up. Because if you cannot come on set with me looking like you rolled out of bed, I have a standard. You have to show up in professional black, your hair and makeup ready, because a lot of times too, they're shooting behind the scenes and they're capturing, the glam squads and folks behind the scenes. So again, if you're representing the glam agency, you're going to look like what we do. And
please speak at how important it is for your glam team to at least look together, because I cannot stand when I'm about to get in someone's chair and their hair is a hot ass mess. I'm like, you're about to do my hair? Let me just get it.
This is the job
And that's our sisters sometimes. Yes, you're skilled, but you still have to come and represent yourself the way,
You know what a lot of people's excuses, like, why would I spend time doing it myself when I'm going to work? I'm supposed to be focused on the client. Well, at the end of the day, you have to represent the job that you do. You're going to work. This isn't play. This is makeup. It's not just paint. It's you're going to work. So show up like you're going to work. And I think it's really important that how you show up also is how you perform. And it's no different than going into a corporate job. This is the business of beauty. So if you're not taking that seriously, and also thinking about your personal brand and then how you're going to leverage that to really be legendary and have a legacy in this business, then you're definitely going to get left behind. That's and you're not going to be on those sets that you want to be a part of.
And it's a lot of people that don't think like you. Like when you try to support black business or put a black girl on set to do makeup and she comes with her hair tied up or not looking the part. So that's a part of the problem too. It's not all just, everybody's racist and don't want to see black people on set. Where are the ones that think like you and come to set looking like you? It's bigger than just them. We have to take accountability for the part that we play of not showing up with the proper portfolio, looking a hot mess, being late, not having what you need. I see a lot of that. I've tried to put a lot of people on over the years, which I have, but I've also got called and chewed out by producers for I'm sending black people to do black people and they're not prepared or they're late or they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So it's a bigger problem than just that we're being excluded. We're not prepared.
I think that's a fantastic point. Because we are quick because there is a lot of discrimination, so it is easy to say, it's because I'm black.
Yeah.
But you know what? Because we're black, we probably have to be twice as prepared and ready because we already have, people that are looking to not hire us already, so don't give them any excuse to not put us on, right? Okay, so as a casting director, how important is it for you? Do you push them to put people of color?
I am the people of color police.
Okay. So when they're looking for talent,
if we got pictures laid out and everybody look, all these girls look the same. Where's the chocolate girl?
Okay.
Then they'll show one girl that's like, no, where's the chocolate girl? Or where's the Asian girl? I really am, and a lot of times they don't even realize it. They pick the same girls that look the same, and they don't realize it until I point it out. They be like, pick one. And they want me to pick and put one in there. They didn't even realize that. They didn't.
So they're just so used to it?
No.
So what kind of pushback do you get have you gotten pushback when you recommended more black women of color?
Sometimes, but most of the times they're not aware and they just tell me to pick one.
They tell you to do it?
Yeah, they tell me to pick one. What, you think she's pretty? Pick her. What about her? And I try to squeeze two in there, but I'm always the diversity police.
Do you feel like if you weren't there, that no black girls would be on set?
Tons of times.
Really?
Lots of times.
Wow, that's sad.
But it's subconscious. They don't realize it. They just picking the girls that they think look pretty, and they all look the same. It's the same set of girls that you've seen in music videos before, but that same look. So it's really becoming aware. Bringing awareness because they don't realize that it's not intentional like we think. Some people have a preference and it is intentional, but just like every girl's not a video hoe, every time we're not there, it's not because they're being racist.
Right, okay. Right, that's a good point. Yeah. Now, Ava DuVernay makes a point to make sure her sets have diversity. Should black actors speak up more? Go to you.
Should black actors speak up more? Yes, of course. I mean, I'm finding my way in navigating that myself because, of course, I'm in a certain position in the industry. If I was at a different level, I'd probably feel so much more comfortable to speak out. I'm just getting my footing in LA and starting, kind of in a new terrain. So I'm going to pick and choose my battles a bit more. But yes,
not me.
I'm a grown woman. I'm not going to let anybody, push me around or anything anymore. I think when I was younger, I was much more willing to let things slide. I've had experiences on set that were overtly racist and discriminatory, and I didn't say anything about it. I just went to my trailer and cried. Me now?
And we I guess we gotta let go of the fear of being accused of being an angry black woman. Yeah, I will be an angry black woman if my hair looks fucked up. You, in fact, will be right.
One thing I have learned is the term righteous anger.
Right, okay.
Righteous anger.
Standing for something.
Yeah, is a thing. I have the right to be angry about certain things, and I don't have to be ashamed of it. And I think that stereotype has been used to manipulate us out of being confrontational or being progressive and assertive in a way that actually benefits us. I have stopped myself from having very important conversations because I'm afraid of rocking the boat. These people need to be rocked because they're not getting it.
They respect you. They respect you more. They respect you when you speak up.
They do.
I feel like they respect you when you speak up, but then you have to worry about, like, am I going to lose my job for saying something?
But you don't worry about that because they're not your source. If you're great at your job, there's a million other jobs. So you can't be fearful, am I going to lose my job? Okay, get another job. At the end of the day, they respect you. I'm respected because I took no nonsense. I'm trying to get in the industry where Jay-Z, Beyonce, Puffy, everybody. I never once felt fear of losing a job because I feel like it's other jobs out there.
For us, it seems so easy because technically we are all self-employed. Coming from somebody else who's working at Macy's at the makeup counter or something like that, are they going to speak up and say something? They're going to be like, dang, this is my job. If I say the wrong thing, that's that.
Maybe it's how you say it.
What you say is how you say it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, you all need to get some more, maybe be like, hey, I think it'd be a good idea, perhaps.
Right.
Perhaps if you get some people of color in here. You know, I guess it's all in the delivery, too.
Yes.
All right, we're about to have some fun, okay? Before we go, I want to honor Madam C.J. Walker's legacy by playing a fun game. I'll show you a photo of a celebrity, and I want you to try to guess that celebrity by their well-known hairstyle. Are y'all ready to play?
Yes.
All right. First up, this actress appeared in 2 Kanye West videos, The New Workout Plan in 2004 and Touch the Sky in 2006. Who is she?
Tracy
Ellis Ross.
There we go. Next, Diddy discovered this artist's music on MySpace before signing her to Bad Boy Records in 2006. Who's this talented singer and actress?
Janelle Monáe.
Oh, y'all good. Y'all good. I love her. All right, this 10-time Grammy Award-winning singer recently performed a unique rendition of the Star Spangled Banner at the NBA All-Star Game. Let's take a guess, ladies.
Shaka Khan.
Okay, all right, Shaka Khan. This pop star received vocal training from R&B artist Neo. Who is this? Y'all know who this is.
That's Rihanna. I haven't seen that hairstyle on her.
All right, this should be an easy one. She's super talented, but fans say she's never on time for her concert. Take a guess.
It's Lauryn Hill.
Last one, ladies. This pink-loving rapper has a Chinese tattoo on her left arm that says, God is with me always. Take a guess.
Nicki Minaj.
All right. This is fun, ladies. Now I want to thank my guests, Muna Traore, Melissa Hibbert, Winter Ward, and LaShawna Stanley for stopping by today for a much-needed conversation on diversity on sets. And thanks to our amazing studio audience. And to all of you watching the Fox Soul TV mobile app, see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Up next is On the 7 with Dr. Sean, and he's unpacking the legacy of Malcolm X. You don't want to miss it. That's next. Stick around.